Welcome to the Velvet Story where emotions weave tales and hearts find voices. In today's chapter, the tangled threads of love, betrayal, and redemption come alive. Let's dive into chapter 34 of Affected. Geet walked away quietly, holding Abhi's little hand. Her thoughts were about to spiral into the abyss of pain again, but a soft, innocent voice brought her back. Mama, Abhi is hungry, the child said sweetly. She looked down at him, her heart softening. What does Abhi want to eat? Rice. Only rice? And chocolate and ice cream, he grinned. That innocent demand pulled a smile from her heart. She lovingly prepared a plate of plain rice just for him and sat him on a chair. Sitting opposite, she began to feed him, watching him with tender eyes. But then, just as she raised the spoon again, Abhi gently caught her wrist and turned it toward her lips, feeding her with the same spoon. Her eyes welled with emotion. One side, the memories with meat weigh me down, suffocate me with pain, but on the other, my son, no, not his son, mine, only mine. Abhi lifts me, gives me reason to breathe again. Yes, maybe it was selfish, but it was her truth. Abhi, I'm also hungry, feed me too. A familiar voice teased. She looked up, stunned. Man stood there. He had returned from the dance floor even before the music ended. Abhi, without hesitation, turned and fed Man from the same spoon. The very same spoon Geet had used. The same one that touched her lips. That her fingers had held. Man smiled at her. There was something layered in that gaze. It's tasty, he said, his eyes never leaving hers. Her cheeks burned, eyes widening in shock, but she looked away quickly, his double-meaning comment clinging to the air. Clapperboard, flashback begins. Samira's voice was sharp, filled with bitterness. Man, stop this charade. You are not happy with Geet. Just end this pretending. But Man only smiled, a dangerous, knowing smile. Really, Sam? Because I'm more than happy with my legally wedded wife and my son Abhi. She's amazing in every way, he added without a flicker of hesitation. Samira's pride cracked, but she masked it. You never gave me a chance. You forgot there are other women in the world. Man chuckled darkly. You're right. She made me forget there was anyone else, except Dadi, Mom, Annie, and our daughter, who's on the way, and of course, her. He walked away, his phone buzzing, Dadi's message flashing on screen. Man, be with Geet. What happened? He quickly replied. Dadi explained everything that had unfolded. Okay, he responded and went searching for them. And then, he saw her, Geet feeding Abhi, and Abhi feeding her. That's when he stepped in. Clapperboard, flashback ends. Now, they sat together like a picture of a family. Abhi wants anything else? Man asked gently. Chocolate, or ice cream, came the sleepy answer. Man smiled and ordered some. This time, he personally fed Abhi as the little one leaned into him. Geet noticed his tired eyes. She saw her moment. I'll go home. Abhi needs rest, she said, lifting him in her arms. But before she could turn, Rosie auntie, can you take care of Abhi for a while? We'll be back shortly, Man asked with polite calm. She blinked at him, stunned. No, Man, you stay. I want to rest too. It's been a hectic day, she said nervously. But Abhi interrupted, yawning. Mama, I'll stay. Dada said he'll give me lots of chocolate. He reached out to Rosie with a sleepy smile. Okay, Dada. Bye Mama. Geet hesitated. You are spoiling him, and why did you send him away? Man shrugged casually. One chocolate won't spoil him. And as you said, he needs rest. I said I need rest too, Mr. Mansingh Khurana, she snapped. Then let me ease your pain, Mrs. Mansingh Khurana, he said, a mischievous spark in his voice. Geet flushed, looking away. No need, just a good sleep, and I'll be fine, she muttered. Clapperboard, scene shift in another corner of the party. Samira stood with Prema, her voice dripping in false concern. Auntie, ever since Man came back, he only sees her and her son. It's like she bewitched him. Prema gave a weak, uncertain smile. If you don't act soon, she'll make him kneel to her. Just like she stole her first husband, she'll steal yours too. Prema's eyes burned with possessiveness. No, my man will always be mine. Samira smirked behind her wine glass. Then do something, auntie, before it's too late. Clapperboard, scene shift dance floor. Geet turned to leave, but Man caught her wrist. What are you doing, Man? She asked, shocked. What you see, Geet, he said smoothly, leading her toward the dance floor. Dadi nodded to the DJ. Suddenly, the lights dimmed and the music changed, slow, romantic, intimate. The room blurred into shadows. No one could clearly see. Let me go. Geet's voice trembled. Then run, Man whispered, full of confidence. She tried to back away. But Man spun her body landed against his chest, their breath mingling. Her hand lay on his waist. His heartbeat echoed in her ears. Her mind flickered, clothes, proximity, warmth. Geet, she scolded herself mentally, cheeks aflame. But in that moment, everything else faded. Just the two of them, and a slow burning fire between. Just one dance, Geet, Man whispered huskily into her ear. She could see the intensity in his captivating eyes even in the dimly lit hall. Everything around her blurred, people, voices, the logic in her head, none of it mattered anymore. Only her heart was speaking now, and it wanted her to go with the flow. She nodded softly. Man gently placed her hand on his shoulder, his other hand slipping onto her bare waist. A sudden shiver ran through her spine. He took her other hand in his, enclosing her completely. He silently thanked Dadi Ma for choosing the perfect song, and for giving him this chance. But Geet knew deep down, she had just made a grave mistake. Just one dance, Geet, she repeated to herself like a mantra. Man pulled her closer, and they moved with the rhythm. They could feel each other, breathing, sensing, wanting. Her mind tried to warn her, but the voice was so faint now, so easy to ignore. They swayed with the music, and Man couldn't help but feel proud. She was this close. She hadn't pushed him away. If he was affected, she wasn't any less. This wasn't a game anymore, it was becoming real. Man grew bolder with every beat. He spun her, and her back collided gently against his chest. The heat between them was undeniable. Man, please, Geet said softly, trying to maintain some distance. But Man only pulled her in again, his hand resting on her belly button. Man, she moaned, louder than she intended. This was the first time anyone had come this close to her. She had always guarded herself, always. Yet tonight, without resistance, she had given someone the right to touch her, not against her will, but against her logic, her rationality, with no thought of consequences. Man lowered his face to her shoulder, brushing his cold nose along her skin. He wanted to feel her, really feel her. Don't moan so loudly, Geet, he whispered teasingly, then bit her ear gently when she said his name again, in that husky tone that made his insides churn. Geet's trembling hands tried to remove his from her bare waist, but not to push him away. Her heart had already accepted this intruder. Man, with his thumb, cold from anticipation, grazed the skin around her waistband. She felt weak, overwhelmed. Her grip on his hand tightened, not to stop him, but to hold herself steady. What is he doing to me? She tried not to think. She didn't want to think. She wanted to feel. Overcome, Geet turned and threw her arms around him, burying her face in his chest. She couldn't take his gentle torment anymore. Man buried his lips in the crook of her neck, wanting nothing more than to forget the past, forget everything, just be in this moment, with her, and dream of a new beginning. He pulled back slightly, kissing her face with reverence. Her eyes, that told stories of pain, joy, hope. Her nose, that flared red when she was angry, embarrassed, or shy. Her cheeks, as soft as a child's. Her chin, that always tilted away when she avoided his gaze. And finally, his lips found hers. She was wearing pink strawberry gloss, but he was sure they were red now, and infinitely more beautiful. Geet, lost in this serene moment, silenced every doubt in her mind. In Man's arms, she had found peace. Her hands traveled to his hair, pulling him in gently, encouraging him. His hands roamed her bare back, and she trembled again, goosebumps covering her skin. Man felt it too, and it sent waves through him, waves of emotions he had never known. He wanted more. He wanted everything. Because love is beautiful. But being loved by the one you love, that is the most beautiful thing in the world. The kiss deepened, more passionate, more consuming, more them. Pure, untainted love wrapped around them like a cocoon. Man sought permission, silently asking to go further. That's when reality hit Geet hard. She parted from the kiss, gasping, stepping away just as the song ended and the lights turned back on. No, this can't happen, she whispered, her voice trembling. She had seen something roar in his eyes, desire, deep and intense. But what terrified her more was the absence of regret. His eyes were bloodshot, not with guilt, but passion. Geet wasn't regretting the moment either, but her heart screamed. This is wrong. Man hadn't even processed her words properly, but it was already too late. She was walking away. He tried to stop her, tried to speak, but she had already created distance between them. She disappeared into the crowd. Man closed his eyes in frustration, whispering to himself, "Great going, Man. You just realized you're in love a day ago, and today, you went ahead and kissed her. Brilliant. At this speed, she'll be yours in a week." He looked toward Dadi Ma, saw Dev and Meera nearby, talking, normal, calm. Learn something from Dev, he scolded himself. But then again, Geet was irresistible, and for the first time in his life, his mind and heart were in complete agreement. He ruffled his hair in embarrassment and walked to Dadi Ma, who only smirked at him. Clearly enjoying the chaos. Clapperboard scene shift. "Why did you drag me like that, Geet?" "Dadi Ma must be disappointed," Meera whispered. I have a headache. It's unbearable." Geet's voice cracked. Her eyes were wet. "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were in such pain," Meera said, concern flooding her voice. Rocky drove them back. Meera insisted Geet take her medicine as soon as they reached home. Geet simply nodded, eyes staring blankly out the window. Clapperboard scene shift. "Great going, beta," Dadi said with a knowing smirk. Man blushed like a guilty teenager. One dance, one kiss, one moment that changed everything. Geet is scared. Man is certain. And between them stands a love that neither logic nor pain can deny. Will this be the beginning of something real, or a chapter they'll both regret? Sparkle, stay with us for chapter 35 of Affected, only on the Velvet Story. Sparkling heart, like, comment, subscribe, and remember, every heart has a story. Let's unfold it together.